Good evening, everyone. My name is Cindy Minoski, and I'm from the Big Island of Hawaii. I extend a warm welcome to everyone on this Mentoring for Free Saturday Skills Call, and to all those who will listen to the recordings of this call in the future. Today is Saturday, the 6th of August, 2011. Mentoring for Free is not an MLM company, and we're not an affiliate program. There's no cost to you for this or any of our more than 10 live generic training calls and interactive discussions each week. Mentoring for Free is simply a community of volunteers who believe in the value of education, personal development, and in sharing what we know works. Our purpose is to help anyone in any company succeed in network marketing by providing education, coaching, mentoring, and support within a mastermind environment. It is my pleasure to introduce the author of Success in 10 Steps, my good friend and personal mentor from Brooksville, Florida, the founder and creator of Mentoring for Free, Mr. Michael Dlouhy.
Thank you so much for your brilliant energy and inviting people on the call. We so appreciate that. And this is our first Saturday of the month. And every first Saturday of the month, we always do a colors training. Now, why do we do that? It's because there's thousands of new people coming into the information and getting this information on a monthly basis, okay? So this is not, for the people that have been around for a while to try to educate you a little more. I'm sure that'll help. It's for the new people to give them a new, different insight into colors, personalities. And there's just nobody I know any better that I love to be interviewed by than Mr. Richard Dennis up in Monticello, Florida. Richard's very well known in the network marketing industry. He was the creator of the Dead Doctors Don't Lie tape. 250 million of those cassette tapes were duped and sent around the world, basically, and built a lot of companies to $1 million status for a lot of people. So a brilliant marketing campaign. He's very well known for his mail order campaigns and things like that. And I just love this format of being interviewed. And Mr. Richard Dennis is up in Monticello, Florida. So, Richard, I'll turn the call over to you.
Thanks very much, Michael. I thought we'd start in your yard.
Okay. Perfect.
We were talking before, and you were telling me about the bricklayer that you hired, and your observations of this guy. And it's, the colors is meant to be used. It's meant to be used all the time with everyone you run into. And to me, this is just a great example, and I think it's a perfect place to start this call. So if you would, why don't you tell the story of your bricklayer?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, his name's Oki, and he is a gentleman from Germany. Him and his wife came over 25 years ago. 2 years later, 23 years ago, when I was building houses, I hired him to be a brick mason, and we did a lot of brick veneer, brick fronts on houses, planters, lamp posts, entryways, things like that. And so he did a lot of brickwork for us over the years. And, of course, I retired from building homes and everything, and my own home here in Brooksville, Florida, it's a country-style house, and we've got wooden steps on the front of the house, and they're built out of 4 by 16 rough-sawn, pressure-treated beams. And we've always were going to do brick steps, and it was just a matter of just doing it, really. And so anyway, it's 25 years later, and we decided, it's time that we got to do these steps. So I said, well, I bet you Oki's got to be probably 70 now, but I'll bet you he's still a brick mason. Now, why would I use this same guy and even try to get a hold of him? Because, Richard, he is a green perfectionist. Now, who do you want doing brickwork on your house, Richard?
Yeah, that sounds like the guy.
That's the guy. I mean, it's all just perfect. It's level, and it's
right.
Just the soldier courses are just, everything's just got to be. And, of course, our brick on our home, on the front of the home, was a certain design brick, and they don't make that brick anymore, but there's a very close match to it, and guess what it is? It's a 150-year-old Chicago brick. They're tearing down train stations and silos and fireplaces and all kinds of stuff up there. Brown, big 4 or 5 story home, big old apartment buildings. They're tearing those down for new construction. And so there's a company that actually reconditions those. In other words, they clean the mortar off them and everything and stack them and pallet them, and you can buy those bricks. So he said these are solid bricks. There's no holes in them. So he said we can do any kind of design. We can put a soldier course anywhere we want, basically do anything. So I designed what I wanted so he could look at it. And here's what I learned about greens. Get a price. You don't pay them by the hour. You get a price for the job, okay? Because what could be a 3 or 4 day job could turn into 7, 8, 10, 12 days because they're a perfectionist. So if you're paying them by the hour, you're going to pay a whole lot more money for the job than you would have paid if you got a bid to do the job. So anyway, he called me up. He called me back. We set up an appointment. He came, he looked at the job, and I said, just give me a price, a cash price, what you'll do it for. And now he's 69 years old, not 70. He's 69, still does brickwork. And he's, of course, slowed down. He doesn't do the bigger jobs like he used to, and he doesn't even have a laborer anymore. So I said, well, it's not a problem. I said, I can, get some time away here, and I can help you and everything. And I love to watch a craftsman work anyway. So as I'm watching him lay this out, now I went ahead and laid out length and width and all this and everything. And I told him, I said, let's start on the stairs on the left-hand side, which is the master bedroom entrance. And I said, we're going to start over here because I said, if there's any mess-ups, we'll have it corrected before we do the other side. Well, he's a green. And so that was my way of putting him on notice. Even though he's a green, he's going to be doing extra better because he doesn't want to mess up. And so anyway, he's working along and did a beautiful job. Gorgeous job that he did for us. Now we're working on the other side, which is the front entrance of the house. And on the master bedroom side, he's got 3 steps. In the steps, you got a wall on the left side, a wall on the right side, which is a double bricked wall, a certain height, and then the stairs go inside between the walls. So it's very unique. It's a design that he created, 45, 50 years ago when he was in Germany, I guess. And so on the other side, he's got 4 steps, and so they're 6.5 inches tall, 14 inches wide, and the other ones are taller and a little bit deeper. So he set up his boards the way he likes to put his brick, and I'm watching what he's doing. I'm observing what he's doing, and he's working left to right. And all of a sudden, when he's laying the walls, he uses a 2-foot level on the end to do the plumb work, but when he does level across, he uses a 4-foot level. So I'm watching him, and now he's got his bricks. He's stacking the bricks that he's laying because you got to pick through the bricks because you want the best side out, the best face of the brick out. So he's got those bricks on the left-hand side of his mud board. He's stacking the other bricks on the right-hand side of the mud board. So as I keep filling the mud board with mud and I'm stacking bricks up there, I automatically started, stacking the bricks and then standing them up so it was easier for him to grab. And I started just making it easier for him. So he got the end of the wall. I just handed him the 2-foot level. And I did that a couple of times, and he saw the bricks stacked up there like that. And he said, this amazes me. I said, what? Now, you got to understand, he speaks German, and he speaks very broken English, so he's fun to work with. And I said, what's that? He says, I've had laborers work months and months on the job and never figure out what you've been doing. He said, you've got this laid out and you keep me supplied. And he says, you keep the bricks where I need the bricks. And he says, how did you know that? I said, well, I observed you. I said, you're an analytical person, and you're set in the way you do things, and every way the way you do things, you do it a specific way for a specific reason. I understand that, so I want to make sure I'm doing exactly what you want done. And he was just shocked that I knew to do that. How come, Richard? He's a green. Why did I get a price from him? Because he's already 300 bricks over what he thought he was going to be. Well, we could do this. He changed the design. We could do this instead of doing this. And I said, well, look, no problem. I've got some extra brick from a previous job that I did. So instead of you buying more bricks at $1 a piece, we'll just use these bricks as the filler bricks. You don't see them. In other words, they're buried under the stairs or behind the stairs. They're buried where you don't see them. So what you would call a filler brick. So he designed, which it was, now he's up to 300 bricks more than what he originally figured. So I supplied him with those bricks so he didn't have, any more monies laid out. And then with this design, it's actually, he's going to lay it probably a little faster than he would have done the original design. But because I understand personalities, because I knew what to do, get ready for him, he has been doing the job a lot faster than he would have done it. He's really happy. He's doing an amazing job because he knows I love quality work, and he knows that from when he worked for me 23 years ago.
The key, though, Michael, is just you watched him. And so many people don't do that. They don't pay any attention to what other people are doing. But if you can learn so much if you just watch.
Well, Richard, it's watching and it's listening. It's watching and it's listening. Now, I'll give you an example. I told him when he laid out the first set of stairs on the master bedroom end, I said, you need to minus 3/4 of an inch on that first row because we have the bullnose sticking out from the porch, and we're going to have a bullnose, a lip, hanging out on the front edge of the brick on all of those steps. He is green, and he's set in his ways, and he said, no, I have it laid out right. And I thought, okay, no problem. I'm not going to disagree with him, right, Richard, because he's the expert, right? And he's a green. Well, lo and behold, once he got the step and then he put the top bricks on and he held it over the 3/4 of an inch, he got up to the second step and he held it over 3/4 of an inch. When he got to the top step, guess what? He was lacking that 3/4 of an inch, the one I talked about when he first started laying out the stairs. And that's when he looked at me and he said, oh, there's my screw up. Because I told him, I said, we're going to have a screw-up on the first set, so we won't have any on the second set, right? But the point was, I wasn't going to argue with him over that 3/4 of an inch because it wasn't worth it. It was worth more to me to prove it to him, and nobody will ever see on a 16-inch step that the one's 15 1/4 deep instead of 16.
And there's just not much future in telling a green that they're wrong.
But it proved to him, and now what did that do for his respect for me on knowledge on what I'm talking about? Now he knows, wow, Michael knows maybe almost as much as he does, right?
Right.
You see the point? So now on Friday, the double wall on the right-hand side of the front entryway to start the steps. It's going to be 4 steps, and then it's going to be long and then circular on the end. So it'll be it'll be a circle on the end of the steps, and so no wall on either end, just the circle. And every one of the steps will have a circle. And I said, I will have this laid out and drawn out. So I figured the distance. I drilled a hole in the concrete slab, put a screw in it, put the string on the screw, put a marker on it to draw a perfect circle. So it would be, of course, a half circle. So actually, it's a 1/4 circle, half of an arch. And so when he gets here on Monday, it's all laid out. And guess what, Richard? I minused the 3/4 of an inch. So when he starts out on Monday, it'll be right.
Very good.
But the point I wanted to make about that is a lot of times you can't prove it to a green that they're wrong. You got to show them, and it wasn't worth the 3/4 of an inch to me. I said, let's just prove it. And why? Because I'm working with a green. Now, I got to tell you something. There's probably not another brick mason in the whole state of Florida that can do an amazing job like he's doing with 150-year-old